Welcome back. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This morning I just felt so empowered to get on because if your life has been anything like mine, sometimes you reflect and you're like, I wonder why I had to break up with that guy. I wonder why I had to leave that job. I wonder why my parents treated me the way they did growing up. I wonder why, I don't fit in easily into a mold of what everybody else say, you should be, could be, would have turned out, or, things like that. And I think when things start falling apart for me, that's when they're starting to come together. And it's hard to think about life like that, especially like me. I like to live a life of like organization, some structure, things like that. But when you go on with God, you got to be ready to move according to his plan. I've recently had some bad things happen to me, and I was wondering, like, God, why did you allow these things to happen? Um, like one of my previous partners recently just passed away, and it just reminded me of starting the grieving process all over again from my mom. Like, there are different phases. You have to accept it, you have to move on, you have to be angry for a period. It's different seasons that you go through, and I guess you just wonder, like, the guilty phase. Why not me? Why that person? So when things happen, even death, separation from your resources, separation from family, you have to cut friendships off, separating from your partner. Your kids may not be behaving in the way that you have raised them to behave, things like that. It just seems like everything happened at the same time, and it can be very, very, very overwhelming. And I feel like I'm in that phase right now, but I'm just in a building phase also. So when you're in a building phase, you have to be ready when things fall apart for them to be put back together. So now I am currently 32, and I'm understanding more and more. Like the older people used to say, you'll get it in the morning. And now, like, when I hear stuff like that, I understand what they mean. Once you start having more experience, that's why I do say people of older age have wisdom. So if you have somebody in your circle who is on your side, who life has been very fruitful, or they have made mistakes and learn from them, listen to those people because they know what they're talking about. So the more and more I live, I understand bad things happen to put you into position so that good things can happen. And it's like a psychological thing. I know I'm all about mental health and wellness, so this is helping me process things that are going on that may not go my way, but I understand why they needed to happen. But in the instance, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened to me. But now, as of like today and recently, I'm understanding why those bad things had to happen. Because sometimes you won't move on your own. You won't leave that guy on your own. You won't stop spoiling those kids to the point where they are rotten and people can't watch them when you go do stuff like record a video. Things like that happen to show you and remind you that one, you're not in control. Two, that sometimes bad things need to happen so that you can get into position. And I made a video probably earlier this week about staying in position. Had I not been right where I am right now, and in a couple of weeks meeting my favorite influencer, and I'm gonna keep talking about that because this is just something that I would never think would happen to a person like me. Not saying that I'm not worthy, but some opportunities it's like a dream come true. But sometimes in order for your dreams to come true, everything else need to fall apart. So I'm just moving with God. I'm hoping that you are inspired on today to move with God. I hope that, whatever, if you are saying that prayer like me, God, whatever that's no longer serving me, I want it to be released from my life. Whatever's no longer serving my future, I want it to be released from my life. Once you say those words out your mouth, because your words do have power. And once you start saying those things and things start shaking and moving in your life, don't get nervous. It's so easy to get nervous. Like sometimes I'll be shaking in my boots, but it's a part of life. You are living a human experience. So some emotions you're gonna have, but long as you combat those emotions with the word of God, with him saying that, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. It will form, but it won't prosper. Um, he'll make a table before your enemies, things like that. You just got to keep positive things in your mind and keep God's promises in your heart so that you will know how to combat all this negativity. Because, like I said, negativity is under everything you uncover. Negativity is there. People who are miserable live there. People who are angry, who are bitter, who are not working on themselves, they are there. So while you're working on yourself, you got to learn how to function around these people who are not trying to prosper and not trying to get towards their goals. So I just wanted to jump on really quickly before I walk. Me and London, we started our new schedule. So it is definitely working out. I'm having more time before work to just do certain things that I want to do, like record and to work and to walk. That intermittent fasting, listen, I thought that it was gonna be like, something I just try for like a couple weeks. But so far I think I'm like at least 4 or 5 weeks in. It is so spiritually like enlightening. So what you eat will make you closer to God. It will allow you to be able to hear clearly. So are you one of those people who are having a hard time meditating, a hard time tapping in to see what gifts God got inside of you? What's your next step for you and your kids and your husband, for you guys to come together and make moves? Even small moves such as just like what you're going to eat for dinner, things like that. If you're having a hard time just thinking and processing through day-to-day activities, taking a shower consistently, moisturizing your body, flossing every day, like these little milestones people overlook to say, I got it all together. But sometimes you got to rewind the tape and you have to start thinking about these small things because they all add up to your bigger picture. So if you have never turned down your plate, I would definitely advise it because it definitely enlightens your meditation. It enlightens your thought process, your mental health. Like this morning, I woke up with a terrible headache, had something on my mind, and stress. I'm not a good, person with stress, so I try to relieve stress in any way possible. I lit a candle. I took that shower. Y'all know that's my go-to. I took that shower. I took maybe like 2 Tylenols, and I feel much better now. So I just wanted to get on to encourage you. If you have never tried intermittent fasting, try that because it really works. Not only with weight loss, like I can't tell if I lost weight. I'm not going to check in with my weight every week because that's going to drive me crazy. But as long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, trying my very best to eat the things I know I should be eating, and you're not going to be perfect. So I don't try to be perfect, but I try to do my best. So if you have tried it or had experiences or tweaked it a little bit, leave some comments and let me know how it's working out for you. If things in your life have fell apart and they all came back together, it can encourage me and other people in the world. Drop those comments below. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And make sure you chime into my channel every day because I'm going to be up here every day faithfully. So I just wanted to jump in, encourage you to know when everything falling apart, it's going to be put back together for your good and no weapon formed against you will prosper. God bless.